Hi, I'm Scott Noonan, the CEO of Audio Advice. This video is on the new JBL 4329P powered speakers. This model is JBL's second powered speaker, following up on the smaller but equally impressive 4305P. The 4329P is not your typical inexpensive powered speaker, but it is a true high-performance luxury product and all-in-one speaker system. If you've ever attended a live concert, it's highly likely you heard the band through JBL speakers. Ever since the Grateful Dead made history in the 70s with their wall of sound with almost 600 JBL speakers, JBL has been a top choice for professional musicians. You'll also find their studio monitor speakers in recording studios and post-production facilities all around the world. A lot of the biggest blockbuster movies we all enjoy in theaters and at home are mixed on JBL professional speakers. Powered speakers have been prevalent in the professional audio world for decades. The pros who depend on total accuracy in sound know that powered speakers offer a lot of advantages when the design is well executed. Over the last few years, powered speakers have become much more popular in the home market. They offer the advantage of eliminating a lot of components previously needed for a great sound system. You just need the speakers and a source, which could be as simple as your smartphone or computer, and you're off to the races playing music. Two speaker models from JBL have become almost the de facto speaker for post-production and recording facilities. These are the 705P and the 708P. The first consumer JBL powered model, the 4305P, was based on the 705P, and as you might guess, these new 4329Ps are based on the larger 708P. I was really happy to see the 4305P come out, as it sounds just amazing for its size. But I've got to say, the 4329P takes things to an entirely different level. So what makes JBL powered speakers so good? Well, first, JBL designs and manufactures all of their own speaker drivers, cabinets, and components to achieve high performance. Then you have all the advantages a powered speaker offers over a passive one. When a speaker company designs a passive speaker, they have no idea what kind of amplifier will be connected to it. So they have to make sure it will be compatible with a wide range of amps. Powered speakers, on the other hand, are just the opposite, as the engineers design a specific amp for each speaker driver. They know all of the characteristics of that driver and can perfectly match an amp to it to extract its best sound. Most entry-level powered speakers just use one amp that drives everything inside one speaker box and uses passive crossovers to route the signal to each driver, which means they have to use devices to passively filter the sound out. When you have a separate amplifier for each speaker driver, as these JBLs do, you can use an active electronic crossover, which is far more efficient and accurate. Both the 4305P and these 4329Ps both use digital signal processing, or DSP, that is perfectly set up for the specific drivers to extract the very best performance from the speaker. The new 4329P has a much larger footprint, as you can see, than the 4305P. At 20 inches tall, almost 13 inches wide, and 12 inches deep, the 4329P would be considered a large bookshelf speaker, can serve as a full-blown high-performance audio system in a large room. Inside each over 33-pound cabinet are two power amps. The one for the woofer is 250 watts, and the one for the compression driver is 50 watts. That's 600 watts of total power and twice the power of the 4305P. Better yet, these use the exact same compression driver that you find in their studio reference monitor, the 708P. This is the patented JBL 2409H 1-inch compression driver with their high-definition imaging dispersion horn. This compression driver is one step up from the already great 2410H that the smaller 4305P uses. The woofer is the JBL JW200P4 8-inch pure pulp black paper comb woofer with a cast frame. The two ports on the front of the speaker give you more flexibility in placement than if they were on the rear. The 4329P measures down to 28 Hz at 6 dB down. You can even add an external subwoofer, which will automatically engage the 80 Hz crossover. However, these produce such strong, deep bass that most people will have no need for an additional subwoofer, even in mid-sized to larger rooms. A well-designed compression driver has a lot of advantages over a dome tweeter. They're much more efficient, are extremely dynamic and can achieve high levels of sound pressure with virtually no distortion. Combined with JBL's waveguide or horn, they offer a wide dispersion pattern that gives the listener a huge listening area with consistent frequency response. These speakers come in either a black, which you see here, or walnut finish with a full studio monitor look. You'll get JBL blue grills with the walnut and black grills on this black version. The rest of the tech in the 4329P is essentially the same as the 4305P. The internal digital to analog converters are all 24-bit 192K high-performance DACs. If you connect the left and right speakers wirelessly, you'll get 24-bit 96K resolution as the primary speaker sends the signal over to the secondary speaker. For the vast majority of content, this is sufficient, and most people will be shocked at how great this sounds. However, if you're a true audiophile or just want to geek out at the very best resolution, you connect the left and right speakers together with an Ethernet cable to move up to 24-bit 192K resolution. JBL includes an Ethernet cable in the box. You'll get plenty of connection options with the 4329P. You can tell from the connections that these were made for serious audio performance versus most competitive products. First, they include a pair of pro-level XLR and quarter-inch phono plug inputs. In addition, you get a 3.5mm analog input, a Toslink digital input, an asynchronous USB input for use with computer audio. Plus, they have Bluetooth 5.1, which enables great resolution with lower latency and longer distances than prior versions. However, what sets these apart from many powered speakers is that they can play lossless, CD quality, or higher resolution music over your network using Apple AirPlay 2 or Google Chromecast using your phone, iPad, or computer. I've made a setup guide that we send to all purchasers showing you how to best set up your powered speakers and how to easily stream to them. Trust me, it's way easier and more fun to stream to these than you might imagine if you've never done it. You also get a nice little remote where you can access inputs right from the front of the speaker here for volume and right here to change the inputs themselves. Most powered speakers like these have one primary speaker that is usually the right speaker. That speaker has all the connections and streaming capabilities in it. Then you connect it to the other speaker, either wired or wireless, as we discussed. However, what's cool about these speakers, and also true of the smaller 4305Ps, is that you can flip a switch on the back of these to set the primary to either the left or the right speaker. This can be helpful as it is in this situation where I've got stuff closer to my left speaker, and so I switch the primary to the left. They also have a boundary control, which will reduce the deep bass output by 3 dB if you've got them close to walls. So let's talk a little bit about how they actually perform. Well, I tested them in multiple environments. First, I put them in my listening room, which you can see them here on the matching JS80 speaker stands. These stands are low profile and put the speakers at the exact perfect height off the floor and at a great angle for a typical sofa or in my listening chair. We have these in our stores and online and highly recommend you purchase them if you buy the 4329s, if you don't have like the perfect cabinet for them. I'm going to cut right to the chase and tell you that these speakers are incredible. Unlike many powered speakers, these are true high-performance audio products, and they perform like the combination of a great streamer, a great integrated amplifier, and a terrific pair of speakers all rolled into one. I decided to use Roon to stream lossless versions of a few songs from the Audio Advice Live playlist on Qobuz since I've heard them so many times. I started by playing Shape of You, the Ed Sheeran cover by Judith Owen. These speakers did an incredible job imaging Judith's voice in the center while all of the other instruments filled the stage. When I say incredible imaging, I mean it. With the horn design, these speakers have a lot of flexibility in placement and can be placed at greater than a 60-degree angle from the listening position, facing straight forward with no toe in, and still provide pinpoint imaging. If you get these or any other speakers from Audio Advice, we have a team of audio experts in our stores and online who love to answer questions about speaker placement and fine-tuning to help you get your new speakers sounding outstanding in your room. I then moved the speakers to my exercise room where I have a Peloton and some other equipment. Like many people, I used my Peloton a lot in the early days and tapered off over time. So I wondered if I connected these to my Peloton, if it would allow me to kill two birds with one stone so I could work out and enjoy great music at the same time. I've cycled in the Peloton studio in New York twice, and I always go harder and faster there because of the engaging music and speakers. So I set these up pretty wide in my exercise room, and connected them first using a long 3.5mm jack. I then rode a 30-minute ride with a 1980s playlist. The Peloton audio track is compressed compared to my room stream, but I have to say that it totally reinvigorated me to ride. I was enjoying the music so much that I then unplugged the 3.5mm connection to test the Bluetooth connection from the Peloton to the speakers. My primary concern was around latency. Basically, would the Bluetooth connection lead to the audio too far behind the video to enjoy a ride? I decided to try to do a 20-minute high-intensity ride to pop music. There are some extra milliseconds of latency when you switch to Bluetooth, but not enough to annoy me or to reduce the fun of the ride. After riding for an hour, I was loving the music and these speakers, and I decided that I would stream some fun music while I did few free weights. I went to Apple Music on my phone and picked another song from the Audio Advice Live playlist, Cashmere by Marcin, and I streamed it losslessly. This song has detailed guitar tracks counterbalanced with super deep bass tracks. This setup played the song like systems I've heard that are double the cost. In particular, the bass capability of these speakers blows away other powered speakers. Also, as I moved around the room, the speakers maintained superb imaging as the compression drivers and matched high-definition imaging horns produced great frequency response in a wide but controlled manner. The bass was so strong that I elected to turn on the room boundary control feature to reduce the bass response by 3 dB. I also tested Spotify, which streamed flawlessly to the speakers as well. Okay, so these speakers sound amazing. They're all-in-one speakers with all the electronics with incredible drivers. So what's not to like? Well, the one thing they don't have that they could is an HDMI input. So if your primary use is to connect them to a television, then these are likely not your best choice. You can certainly connect a television via optical to these, but that means you need to use the included remote to turn the volume up and down, whereas an HDMI ARC connection would allow you to use the television remote to control the volume. So for most people, this is totally not an issue, but I just want to point it out. Honestly, that's my one drawback, and clearly JBL decided to put the money that they would otherwise have spent on the HDMI ARC connection into getting the very best sound possible. Clearly, these are not cheap speakers. They're a real investment. However, if you are looking for an all-in-one speaker system that is designed with high performance in mind and has the physical build to deliver, these are a fabulous choice. If you love the concept of these speakers, but they're outside of your budget, you should definitely watch our video or read our review of the 4329Ps, which are the smaller brother to these speakers. Same concept, design, and tech, but with the step-down compression driver and smaller woofer. I guess I can best summarize that after demoing these speakers, I immediately called JBL to get a pair for my room. So hopefully next time you see me, I'm a little more fit and have a pair of 4329s. I've integrated my host of learnings into our setup and tips and tricks guide, including how to most easily set them up on your network and how to best place the speakers in your room. These will go out to all purchasers. If you decide you want to purchase these speakers, the best way you can support us is to purchase from one of our showrooms or online at audioadvice.com. We have experts both in our stores and online ready to help you with any questions. We have a price guarantee, free shipping, and lifetime support. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to make sure you get the latest audio and home theater content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.